happened with Jasper was nothing.
Nothing compared to what could have happened. This is the last time you'll ever see me.
Hi, I'm Nat, he's Matt, we've got your geek news right here.
And this week it's a review of Chris White's sequel to 2008's Twilight.
Thank the gods for Chris White's, because New Moon was an immeasurably better film than the first.
Oh, normally that's an impressive statement, because any movie that warrants a sequel is usually pretty good. But in the case of Twilight, it kind of got a sequel in spite of itself.
But before we rag on the first film too much, let's dissect New Moon first as an adaptation of Stephenie Meyer's book, and then as a sequel to Catherine Hardwicke's film.
You've killed people, Jake.
We only kill what we're trying to protect you from. Vampires.
Stop! Oh, please! Jake, don't!
Since I've been through the audiobooks, I'll be taking the lead on this one.
Well, you know, I did catch the odd chapter here and there while you were listening, so I might be interjecting a little bit.
Now, let's go through the changes first of all. You know, one of the big things I noticed was that there's less languished emotion than the book, which was interesting, but necessary, right? When you're adapting
Yeah, I mean, you got to cut
film,
something
you got to
out.
cut some things out. Another factor in that sense that I really noticed was that that whole lead up to the werewolf thing. In the book, there was so much more going on about Sam and that conspiracy and all that build up, whereas in the movie, it just really chopped it up. But it was actually a good thing. Like, I liked the pacing that it had.
You know, I remember specifically from the book that there was this one friend that Jake has at the beginning when he's still long-haired Jake, and then that friend becomes one of the members of the wolf pack. Well, you only see him once in the movie, and then the next time you see him, his hair is also cut
He's
short.
already part of the
And
wolf pack, yeah.
If I wasn't looking for him, I wouldn't have gotten that meaning.
No,
I
not
wouldn't
at
have gotten
all.
that meaning at all.
No, no, no. The night terrors, Bella's night terrors, were actually fascinating in the movie because they were obviously night terrors.
Yeah, and you know, in the movie, that felt really natural in the movie, which I liked. Whereas in the book, I really got the impression that she was just like whining and like being kind of irritating.
Yeah,
But in
but I
the
guess
book, it was almost chilling in the movie.
In the movie, yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like, when you can hear her screeching, like, as she's sleeping, you know, oh God,
That must hurt.
that's pretty bad.
Now, specifically, that sort of final confrontation.
Yeah.
I remember that being different in the book. Jake doesn't turn into a werewolf.
No,
in
the
book.
whole time in the book, Jake's standing there, like, trying to control himself.
And the whole time, like, wasn't Charlie like screaming at them too? in the
Yeah,
book?
exactly, because Jake leaves the motorbike on the driveway to get Bella in trouble.
Right, so that didn't happen at the end. But then they also changed the order of the marriage proposal thing too,
Yeah.
right? That became the big bum 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 at the end of the movie, but that happened like several
yeah.
chapters ahead in the book, I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, definitely.
Well, you know, just like in the first one, adapting the book meant to pick up that pace, they had to rush through teenage angst, which in this case, I would say is probably a good thing.
And all in all, I think the changes that they made, or the adjustments, or the, you know, shifting the story in certain parts, was good. It turned out quite well. So let's get down to this movie as a sequel.
Bella, get back! Paul, get back now!
I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy parts of the first Twilight movie, because I did. Vampire baseball is probably the best way I've ever experienced America's favorite pastime, but every other action sequence in the first one was just amateur hour on the big screen.
Yeah, the baseball scene was quite good. But you know what, though? Chris White's brought his experience from American Pie and Golden Compass, again, just a strange combo, but anyway, into a pretty impressive harmony on New Moon, and we definitely got a better, more well-rounded film for Edward and Bella's second chapter.
Now, I really dug the werewolf effects, which I'm going to get a lot of
Yeah, I was
flack
so
from,
curious
'cause,
what you thought, because you're
you
such
know,
a werewolf guy.
I am. Vampire movies I could do without, but werewolf movies, obviously I'm looking forward to The Wolfman with Benicio, but I really dug these full men
But they were
sized
wolves. Yeah.
It's a very interesting take on it, which would only work in a movie, because honestly, if you're going to make a series, a television series out of that, that's just not interesting.
And obviously it works really well with that whole Native American kind of mythos,
shape-shifting
right?
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Now, the love triangle, what did you think?
You know, because it moved along so nicely, and because it wasn't as languished as it was in the book, I really enjoyed it in the movie. I thought a lot of things in the movie just made for an economical, well-paced, enjoyable film.
I've got to say, after watching this movie and seeing Tyler Lautner and like the impressive body he was able to build. 30 pounds, people. That's what happens when, after the first film, they're like, we don't know about this Tyler Lautner guy. I don't know if he can get as big as Jacob Black needs to get.
In only a year. That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
These movies are happening so fast.
It's crazy. And then he just pounded on like 30 pounds. And
Now he's a beefy child Hulk.
yeah,
It's weird.
he was really cute. I'm so glad he cut his hair in that movie like he was supposed to. And yeah, it was just, I envy Bella. Like, she has good and better in a way to kind of decide over.
Yeah, I was impressed with Dakota Fanning. Like, that's
Yes.
kind of the most grown-up and, like, scary I've ever
Okay,
seen
well,
her.
let's be honest. Dakota Fanning has always been a grown-up child.
And she's always been scary.
Yes.
But in this, she was evil. And that made it a little bit more fun.
Well, that brings us very well into the Volturi, who I thought were actually pretty well portrayed. I love that painting with Carlisle came up at the beginning.
Yeah,
And you're like,
great
oh,
visual.
the Volturi. And then all of a sudden you meet them, and Aro, and Michael Sheen. I love Michael Sheen.
Okay, Michael Sheen makes a wicked werewolf. So to see him in this as a vampire was kind of neat. But that goon from Sweeney Todd that played Caius, oh, I just wanted to punch him in his yellow hair. I couldn't deal with him. I couldn't deal with him at all.
Oh my gosh. And then ultimately, I didn't realize how funny Charlie was in the first movie.
Maybe he wasn't.
Maybe he wasn't, but in this movie, he was hilarious.
Yeah, really enjoyable character of Charlie, definitely. Now, New Moon, it was just all around a better film. I
Yes.
think they were just people on this film that knew what they were doing in pretty much every way. But I still found there was something missing. There was adventure and fun in the first one that was very absent in the sequel.
That's interesting. Well, in any event, I'm excited to hear that Weitz will be returning for the adaptation of the fourth book, which might be borrowing from Harry Potter's MO by being split into 2 films.
Now, before we talk about parts 4 and 5, we have a mere 6 months to wait until the next Twilight film, because the third part, Eclipse, hits theaters in June of 2010.
Oh my gosh. So it certainly looks like the Twilight Movie Factory at Summit is hard at work to get these puppies all released before America's love affair with Kristen and Robert comes to an end. And let's also note, before Robert Pattinson becomes too old to be an immortal that never ages.
Yeah, 17-year-old's tough to play. I mean, look what happened to David Boreanaz in Angel.
It's sad.
Anyway, between now and then, keep an eye on YourGeekNews.com, because we've got an upcoming preview of Avatar, as well as Robert Downey Jr. wrapped up for Christmas for you ladies as Sherlock Holmes.
Yum!